I have some remarks on what Nabil has said and what he ended with, that there is no leadership present that can replace Hadi. The question that will come or pop up is, where will they be? In Riyadh, in Abu Dhabi, in Cairo, in Istanbul? There is no one left in Yemen. Everybody's outside the country. So talking about the leadership, you have to have them on ground in Yemen. And during this time, it is, if the Saudis are not happy with any of this leadership, or what they can do, just ban them from traveling. They cannot go back. What can they do? Like what they have done on several occasions, different personalities. So yes, I agree there must be a new leadership coming up and presenting themselves as an alternative or as a support for the so-called legitimacy, but in the present times, it's very hard. In the past, we knew that if you had a problem in Egypt, you would go to Syria. If you cannot go to Syria, you would go to Iraq. If Iraq is not hospitable, you would go to Beirut. But now, you cannot. All borders are shut. So this part of our wish is not doable. The second remark is that about when Helen and you emphasize on a front, unified front, anti-Houthi unified front. Honestly, knowing what's happening, all the entities have been fragmented from 2014 onwards. The only entity that has kept itself relatively intact is Islah Party. With all the differences within the structure, they have maintained the leadership, although there are some voices that criticize the old generation of the Islah, of the leadership, but still it's covered. It has not come public. And if you look at the other entities like the GPC, we know how many GPCs we have now. We have Tariq GPC, we have Ahmed Ali, we have Sana'a, we have Egypt, we have. So the GPC itself, as Nabil knows very well, Michael knows, and Barbara and Helen, everyone on the panel here knows that the GPC has never been a party of principles. It was a party of interests. People had interests in the government and getting closer to Sana, so they would just join, or forced to join. If you are a minister, by default, you will be a member. My last remark is that I said this to Lender King when I met him last time in Riyadh 2 months ago. And I said, don't try to pacify those whom you meet here in Riyadh or in Cairo. Try to find incentive. What could incentivize them to go into a peace process? And I told him bluntly, if I were Hadi, personally, knowing that any peace process will end by kicking me out of the door, I would not sign any deal. Why would I sign it? And I gave him an example of myself when I was, and it's bad to keep repeating it, but when I was the deputy foreign minister, my salary at the time in Sana'a was $200, 36,000 riyals. Now, the deputy foreign minister living in Riyadh, his salary is $8,000 plus, so it gets to $11,000. Why would he be interested in going back to Sana'a or anywhere? So we have to find incentives. What could be the incentive for Hadi to go into peace? And then we have to ask ourselves, what is the peace that could be achieved now? When you have only one force, we have to be very clear and very candid here. There is only one military force in the country, unified, and without the air campaign from the Saudi, they will just go everywhere in Yemen again. We have to be very frank there. No legitimacy or no national army, not even the STC can handle it. They cannot. And we saw that in Bayhan, we saw it next to Abyan, we know. The Houthis are warriors. They will just go without the air campaign coming from the Saudis. So we have always to think about what are the incentives that we can give to the Saudis. And my final point here is that about 2216, I agree, it cannot be implemented anymore because of the constraints that Helen rightly mentioned. And the GCC, but Hadi is holding them, grasping the 2216 and the GCC initiative, because both have his name mentioned in both the initiative and 2216. It was never mentioned the President of the Republic. It was always mentioned Abdurrabbu Mansour Hadi. And that was a fatal mistake that the Saudis blame themselves for now, but it's too late.